So welcome along, everyone. For those that don't know why they're sitting down here, and I don't imagine that's too many of you, this is the award presentation of this year's Underwater Photographer of the Year competition 2023. We have just announced our winners, and those of you who've been looking around, you can see a gallery of them. Some of them are still on the wall behind us. Saeed's at the back there making sure that they all get back up on the wall again. So you can see some of the prints there, and I'm going to show you in this presentation all of our awarded images. It's quite a big show of pictures, so what I can promise you are really some of the most incredible underwater photos taken around the world during the last few years. They really are stunning, stunning images, as you can see, and sights and vision from photographers that really is absolutely world-class. UPY really has become the sort of blue ribbon event in the year. So I've got lots of pictures to show you, so I'm not going to hang around with too much of an introduction, and I'm going to get straight on through it. UPY this year attracted more than 6,000 entries, which is our record ever. It's also attracted entries from 546 photographers from all around the world, which is absolutely fantastic for our competition. The challenges for me is that with those photographers coming from all corners of the planet, I apologise to anyone whose name I don't pronounce exactly perfectly. So if your name is spelled Smith, but pronounced throat wobbler mangrove or something like that, then I apologise ahead of time for me butchering it. I would quickly like to start by thanking the incredible companies from around the world that make UPY possible through their sponsorship. It really is, I think, a tribute to the contest and its team behind it that we attract such fantastic companies. And if you like what we do at UPY, please look to support these companies. We really appreciate their support of us. Although I'm the one standing up here, I would like to point out that UPY is very much a team effort on the judging side with Tobias Friedrich, myself, and Peter Rowlands, who's here as well in the audience, and teamwork on the organisational side where Saeed Rashid, who's here today, and Dan Bolt really make the whole thing work. It's a tremendous amount of work making this competition come together, and I know all the entrants really appreciate the hard work that goes into it. So we can now get on to the competition. I'm going to run you through the different categories and then finish off with our big awards. What you can see when I introduce the categories are the previous winners, and you'll actually, I think one of the things you'll notice in a lot of these categories is that the strength of our entry actually shows you these are the people who won the categories in the previous years, and you can see that there's a lot of good photographers out there, and it's actually very rare you see names come up more than once in these histories, such as the fierce level of the competition. So we're going to start with the British Waters categories and then move on to the international categories. So starting the British Waters compact categories for pictures taken in the UK with people shooting with compact cameras. And this particular year, it's judged blind, and perhaps these results are a great indication of that. 2 photographers totally dominated the top 10 in this category. So you're going to hear the same 2 names a fair few times, and I'll probably get onto first names once we get going. So, commended in this category, James Lynott with Sea Lock and Enemy, and Tony Reed with Friends and Enemies, James Lynott with Fluoro Thornback Skate. Because James and Tony very much dominated this, I'm going to go by first names from now on. Highly commended. Highly commended was completely dominated by James with this shot, Spur Dog Shark, Inquisitive Nudie, very diverse images, Rock Pool Fluorescence, and Cat Shark Lying Low. Third place went to Tony Reed with Beauty in the Blowhole, and James Lynott with Autumn Above and Below was runner-up. And the winner of this category was this fantastic shot by Tony Reed called Crack Rock Blenny, of a variable Blenny taken down in Devon. This photo is printed on the wall in the far corner over there, and it looks absolutely stunning printed up big, and just really a fantastic tribute and a wonderful showcase of what you can do with a compact camera in the UK. Next category we're going to move along to now, so yeah, well done to Tony for winning that. Next category is British Waters Macro. What I'm going to do with the photographers who are here and we're winning is we'll go through the results relatively quickly, and then at the end we'll come up on stage, pull your pictures back up because we're the last show on stage, and then we can do photos and things like that without the pressure of keeping the slideshow running. So up next, British Waters Macro. The category history here. Only Dan Bolt has won this category more than once, but spoiler alert, one of these other winners has got their second category victory this year. So commended in this category, Ryan Stalker with gold, Malcolm Nimmo with Spiral of Life, Kathy Lewis with Hidden Gem. Highly commended in this category, Kirsty Andrews with Lumpy, Kathy Lewis with It's a Fish Eat Fish World, Kathy Lewis again with Fur Coat, and Sandra Stalker with Curvaceous Kelp. Third place in British Waters Macro, Ryan Stalker with Companions. Runner-up in this category, Malcolm Nimmo with Sanctuary. And the winner of British Waters Macro this year was Kirsty Andrews with This Shot Egg Eaters taken up in Shetland. A pair of nudibranchs that feed on the eggs of other nudibranchs, Fevorinus nudibranchs. Oh, and we can hear from Kirsty now.
Nudibranch, Fevorinus bronchialis, eating the eggs of another species, and its behaviour that I've been looking to capture for quite some time. Finally got lucky just over a year ago, diving in Shetland, which is one of my favourite places to dive in the UK. I've always found it to be really productive, and it's just a great place to be. You never quite know what you're going to see, and in this case it was some great behaviour. The photographic challenge was just to make it look kind of neat, because actually it was a big egg curl with 3 nudibranchs and some other species feeding on it.
Thank you, Kirsty, for that. I would just like to say that I've edited the videos down for this slideshow. You can see the full sort of acceptance speech from every single photographer on our website, and I would like to point out that all the thank yous and all the congratulations to the other entrants that the very polite photographers gave, they've been cut out today. So they are all very polite and friendly. I've just cut that out and just giving you the photo chat for today. But remember, on underwaterphotographyoftheyear.com website, you can see their whole acceptance speeches. So moving on to one of the newer categories in the competition, British Waters Living Together. Up until this year, it has not been won by a photographer more than once. But this year, one of those previous winners did manage to get to the top step again. So, commended in this category, Barney Smith with Times They Aren't A-Changing. Also commended, Kirsty Andrews with Snorkeling the Smalls. Another commended entry for Billy Arthur with Anthropocene Anemones. Highly commended in this category, Dan Bolt with Valentine Tank Reef. Also highly commended in this category, Mark Kirkland with Edible Crab under Porton Cross Pier. Andy Coles with Freedom. And our final highly commended entry, Martin Guess with Pash and Pal. Third place in British Waters Living Together goes to Henry Spears with this beautiful shot, Muscle Lines. Runner-up, Lucas Kowalski with Wandering Mermaid. And the winner of British Waters Living Together this year was Dan Bolt with this stunning picture, Pipe Reef. And we can hear a little bit of Dan's thoughts about this image now.
My winning image was taken off the shores of the town of Inveraray in western Scotland. You can see this langoustine is making good use of a concrete structure that covers an old pipe in only a few metres of water. This site has become a firm favourite in recent years because of its ease of access and healthy marine ecosystem. Langoustines are a commercially important species for Scottish fishermen. About 38,000 tonnes of them are landed every year. They're fished using creels, which is a non-destructive fishing method, and there's still plenty of these tasty shellfish wandering around the seabed if you know where to look. The shallow waters of Inverary are also home to many other species, including firework anemones, juvenile cat sharks, and rays. Photographing in these dark waters can be a challenge, but the reward is well worth it when you can capture images of such amazing creatures.
Thank you very much, Dan. Moving on to our final British waters category, and that's the wide-angle photography. And so far, this category has not been won more than once by any photographer. So we'll see if we add a new name this year or whether it's a repeater. So, British waters wide-angle. Commended in this category, Kirsty Andrews with E49 submarine. Aaron Sanders with Concealed. Mark Kirkland with Sunrise Swans. Highly commended in British waters wide angle, Mark Kirkland again with Twilight at the Wreck. Jenny Stock with River Dance. Dan Bolt with Firework Duet. And Martin Stevens with Inquisitive Nurse Hound in the Morning Sun. Third place in British waters wide angle, Nick Moore with Oily Blue. Runner-up, Malcolm Nimoy with Silonian Reflections. And the winner of British waters wide angle is Theo Vickers with An Island of Wild Seas. And we can make Theo suffer seeing himself on the screen now. I'm sorry, I forgot I had this slide. Theo also, as well as winning the category, was awarded one of our special awards as the most promising British underwater photographer as well. And this is a really important award for us, and it's got a tremendous history of photographers winning this award and going on to great things. It's really given by the competition to a British photographer whose work really feels like is pushing back the boundaries of underwater photography. So big congratulations, Theo, for this.
My winning image was captured here on the Isle of Wight, exploring the chalk reef of the Needles Marine Conservation Zone. The Isle of Wight's chalk reefs are home to extensive habitats of the large algae Hemanthalia. These create beautiful marine forests. They're an amazing environment to explore for local marine wildlife. But on this summer evening in particular, when I captured the image, the underwater conditions were absolutely perfect. Amazing visibility and fantastic natural lighting coming down through the forest onto the sea floor. So I found myself much more interested in capturing a wide-angle image of the entire habitat than any specific species in particular.
Thank you for that insight into your pictures. I said the full video is on our website. Right, we're now going to move into international waters. So there are the odd British picture in these categories, but these are the photos taken anywhere around the world. And this is where the pronunciation of the photographers' names becomes a bit more challenging for me. There are some real specialist photographers around the world that specialize in shooting compact cameras to incredibly high levels, and it's one of the reasons why we get quite a lot of repetition of names in these categories amongst the very best of them. So you can see from the history of this category that Enrico has had fair amounts of success, and it might be no surprise that our first commended image comes from Enrico Somoggi from Germany with Blenny's Home. Our next commended image comes from James Linnett from the United Kingdom with fluoro lizardfish. And another commended shot for Enrico with fried egg jellyfish. Highly commended in this category, Ilaria Maria Giulia Risotto from Italy with squat lobster in crinoid. David Porret from Reunion Island with running in the fields. Joe Fitzgibbon from Ireland with social isolation. And also highly commended Miguel Ramirez from France with flying beneath the surface. Third place in the compacts category goes to James Rockop from the United States with water ballet. Runner-up, Takeshi Ioka from Japan with Welcome, this wonderful shot of bottlenose dolphins. And the winner of this category, as he has been before, Enrico Samogi from Germany with Krunzinger's Ras in Motion. And we can hear a little bit from Enrico about his shot.
The winning picture was taken while snorkeling in Egypt with this special lens. The image is a long exposure with a shutter speed of 1/13 of a second. At the moment the shutter was released, I moved the camera forward a bit. This is how I got this zoom effect in the lower part of the image.
Thank you, Enrico, and congratulations again. Right, moving on I think now to one of our real favourite categories in the competition. This is a category aimed specifically at newer photographers that haven't sort of made their mark yet in the world of underwater photography. And I think one of the things we're proudest about this category is how many of our previous winners have become regular winners across the rest of the competition after their breakthrough wins in this category. It's a category where we're always looking for outstanding quality of images and fresh vision from our photographers. And although it's aimed at newer photographers, it also always attracts a really large entry. So if you are thinking of entering in the future year, this category is a very fiercely competitive one. So awarded in up and coming this year, commended in this category, Cat Zoo from the United States with larval ribbonfish. Nuria Beaufort Costa from Spain with light in the dark. And also commended in this category, Julian Jacobs from the United States with aggregating anemones fluoresce under storm clouds. Really stunning imagery. Highly commended in up and coming, Cat Zoo, again from the United States with motherhood. Julian Jacobs from the United States with short fin mako. Shane Smith from New Zealand with catfish constellation. Really, really stunning images. Lovely to see them on the big screen. And Simon Biddy from the United Kingdom with My Kingdom. Third place, Barney Smith from the United Kingdom with quintuple exposure. Runner-up in this category, Ollie Clark, who's based in Australia, with The Swarm. And the winner of this category, Cat Zoo from the United States with Boto Encantado.
These dolphins are endangered, and it was definitely a special experience to get to see them up close. There's only 6 extant species of river dolphins left around the world, and all of them are either endangered or critically endangered. Amazon river dolphins are especially threatened from mercury pollution, from gold mining activity, and also from large-scale development projects which alter the flow of rivers and thus disrupt the local ecosystem. Many local fisheries also kill river dolphins in order to use their meat as bait for this prized species of catfish that can be sold for a lot of money. While this practice has been banned in some Amazonian countries, it's unfortunately still not totally eradicated. There is some great conservation work being done by nonprofits such as the Amazon River Dolphin Conservation Foundation and also WWF to support Amazon River dolphin populations. And I'm also thankful for this opportunity to get to spread a little bit of awareness about this beautiful species that I don't think is talked about as much.
Thank you, Kat, for that insight into the species. Really great, I think, for the competition to have a shot from the Amazon River, such a great body of water amongst our winners. Okay, moving on to a category where the pictures are perhaps not so easy to look at, but I think some of the most important shots across the competition. This is the Save Our Seas Foundation Marine Conservation category. Again, a relatively new category, but one that really attracts lots of international entries. And because of Save Our Seas Foundation sponsorship, we make this category free to enter, and it also has cash prizes for the winners. So it attracts a great number of entries and really important ones. Commended in this category, Sirachai Arungushti Chai from Thailand with Baby Paradorn. Simon Lorenz from Hong Kong with Death Trap. Edouard Areno from France with Breathe. Victor Huertes from Australia with The Fortunate Ones. And these turtles were the fortunate ones that were actually were released and were able to carry on living. Damia Aluma from Argentina with One More Chance. Dimitri Koch from the United Arab Emirates with A Home Divided. And our final highly commended image is David Serradell from Spain with Supremacy. Third place in our marine conservation category went to Celia Kujala from the United States with Unfortunate Piercing. Runner-up to David Alpert from the United Kingdom with $1 Million Fish. And I'd really encourage you to visit the website and read the backstories of these. If you see the prints on the wall, you can actually scan the QR codes on your phone and bring the captions up and all the backstory behind them. And the winning image in our conservation category is this heart-wrenching image by Alvaro Herrero from Spain called Hopeless, of a humpback whale taking one of its final breaths, having been sort of almost or being on its way to dying as a result of this entanglement. And Alvaro wins the award, as well as winning the category, the Save Our Seas Foundation Marine Conservation Photographer of the Year this year. And I know that this image has already been picked up, and we've been putting several different marine conservation organisations in touch with Alvaro to help get this picture out there and really use it to highlight this plight and the problems of ocean garbage and discarded and fishing gear and various other things being in the ocean. Okay.
This is a very beautiful photograph for me because it had two very clear scenes. The first one is very sad. It's the saddest moment I ever lived in the ocean, and probably one of the saddest moments in my life. Actually, I spent 2-3 days without sleeping after I took that photograph. It's very sad because seeing an animal like a whale dying because she was dying in such a slowly way and in such a painful way was horrible for me. It was heartbreaking. Especially after spending so many times with these animals under the water, especially after having eye contact with them, have interaction with them, and to feel how they are sentient animals, they are intelligent animals, they are empathetic animals.
Okay, thank you, Alvaro, for those words. And I'd really encourage you to visit the website as well and read his words again there. They really give a fantastic insight to this very sad event. Okay, we now have 6 categories to go, which are our 6 main international categories, starting with black and white, which is fairly self-explanatory. Been won for the last 2 years by Australian photographers. We'll see if that trend continues. So commended in black and white, Enrico Somoggi from Germany with Circle in the Sun. Also commended, Michael Freifeld with Rorschach from the United States. Mizal Palomeque from Mexico with Binary Code. Highly commended in the black and white category, Kiko Abadal, who was our up-and-coming winner last year, with this intriguing image taken in Spain called The Shadow of the Mediterranean. Rene Capozzola, who was an overall winner of UPY 2 years ago from the United States with Sea Turtle Serenity. And Cecilia Velasquez from Mexico with Cold Water Siren. And our final highly commended image, Brook Pike from Australia with Cruising the Sand Patch. Third place in black and white, Fabrice Goin, another previous up-and-coming winner from France with The Cloud. Runner-up in this category, Victor Huertes from Australia with Jaws Reborn. And the winner of this category, Don Silcock, continuing Australia's domination of it with El Blanco. Although, as you'll hear from Don's voice, we can claim some credit, I think, from the UK.
Anyway, the image is of a white southern right whale calf, El Blanco, as it's called locally in Argentina, and it was taken in the Valdez Peninsula, northern Patagonia, in August last year as part of a 5-day trip there, that we had a special permit to be in the water with the southern right whales. Interestingly, the encounter happened on the last morning of the trip, and we had been in the water briefly with the white calf, El Blanco, on the first day, but the mother clearly wasn't happy at our presence, so we backed off, and the mother took the calf away. Then on the last day, just out of the blue, we were able to get in the water with the mother. Was really chilled in the background and had clearly signalled to the calf that it was okay to go and check out these visitors, and check us out, we did.
Thank you for that, Don, and congratulations. Right, moving on to the portrait category. This category's got quite a wide remit. It's for any underwater photo that we feel falls into that definition of portrait. And the commended in this category this year were Lucy Ray from the United Kingdom with spaceman Zachary Ray, 7 years old, splashes down. Huawei Cao from Taiwan with mirror reflection. Dimitri Kok from the United Arab Emirates with Nerpa, the Baikal seal. Highly commended, Yazid Al-Shahari from Libya with Unicorn Goby. Fan Ping from the United States with Cave Diver at Swiss Siphon. Also highly commended, Bryant Turfs from the United States with Eye of the Beholder. And another stunning image from Stephen Kovacs from the United States. Bony-eared arsefish is apparently what this species is. Not one I was familiar with before, but an incredible looking animal. Third place in the portraits category, a change of pace. Thomas Heckman from Germany with Marilyn Bubble 2.0. Runner-up, Rafael Fernandez, last year's overall winner of Underwater Photographer of the Year. This year, second in this category with Curiosity Amongst Icebergs, with this picture of a leopard seal. And the winner of the portrait category is Suleiman Al-Taqiqi from Kuwait with his photo, The Trunk. Certainly an easy picture to like, with such an incredible subject. I don't think we ever imagined we necessarily have an elephant ever in this competition. Okay.
The concept behind this photo was largely the product of the challenges I faced while trying to capture a split shot of this elephant. First, the water was very choppy. Naturally, this meant that trying to get an even split line was difficult to achieve. Second, the water visibility was so poor that no matter how close I was, the elephant was barely visible in the underwater portion of the image. To overcome these challenges, I tried experimenting with filling the bottom frame of the image with the elephant's trunk. I was very pleased with the initial results, but there was the problem of a shadow being cast over the elephant's nose. So I returned at a specific time of the day when I thought the sun's angle could fully light the nostril area. This ended up revealing a lot of detail to the key part of the image, and I consider it to be the biggest achievement of the photo.
Thank you, Sully, for that. Okay, we're going to move on now to the Rex category. This category was dominated for many years by Tobias Friedrich, who we've now opted onto the judging panel. So it's now opened the doors for some more photographers to succeed in this category. Tobias had an incredible record in this one. So commended in the Rex category, Pekka Turi from Finland with the Baltic Thistlegorm. Pekka's been a regular winner in UPY since we really began the competition. Commended also Peter Asman from Italy with the Flying Fortress. Also commended in this category, Brooke Peterson from the United States with the Eye of the Funnel. Highly commended in the Rex category, Nicolas Barak from France with Torpillier 178 Panorama. Highly commended, David Alpert from the United Kingdom with The Bridge. John Anderson from the United States with Guardian of the Thistlegorm. And our final highly commended, Borut Forlan from Slovenia with Teti Rek. Third place in the Rex category, René B. Andersen from Denmark with Mahusan Rek. Runner-up, Nikolai Bozinski from Germany with Salem Feeling. And the winner of the Rex category this year is Brett Aldridge from the United States with this amazing photogrammetry image, Engine with a Saddle. And we'll just hear briefly now from Brett telling us about the challenges of photographing this plane.
I was the first diver on the wreck. We were out diving targets, and I got to the bottom of the downline, looked around and saw the prop and the engine and then the fuselage, and was really amazed. On the first dive, I was really taking photos more for identification than anything else, and I was running up against some bottom time and run time limits, but I ended up snapping enough photos to build my initial photogrammetry model. I knew I wanted to go back to finish building the model because I thought it would look really good. I had a bunch of other trips planned and projects I was working on, and then before I knew it, December was here, and with it, bad weather, but the UPY contest was open. So I booked a dive for December 19th and hoped for the best. We actually had great conditions, and I got the rest of the photos I needed to build this model. The project itself was really challenging for a number of reasons. The first is that it's at 230 feet or 70 meters deep, so the bottom time is really limited. And of course, there's little to no light and no color at that depth. But it's also in an area where one wrong fin kick can absolutely destroy visibility. It took quite a bit of effort to put this together.
Thank you and congratulations to Brett for that really amazing shot. I think one of the exciting things about the Rec category is the frontiers that the photographers are pushing. Finding new wrecks with side-scan sonar, being the first people ever to photograph or to dive and photograph them, really exciting. So, our final three categories. One of these is behavior. Always a fascinating and diverse category showing real natural history imagery. Commended in this category, Simon Lorenz from Hong Kong with this incredible moment, Double Trouble, a pair of fin whales attacking a bait ball. Also commended in this category, Paul Pettit from the United Kingdom with Organised Chaos. And also commended in this category, Filippo Borghi from Italy with Cat Shark Layer. Highly commended, Sylvie Ayer from Switzerland with Sea Lion Plays with Iguana. Highly commended from Ralph Pace from the United States with Pup Playdate, this image of sea otters. Jake Wilton from the Australia with Giant Feast. And our final highly commended picture, Isaac Sabo from the United States with Bluehead Chub and Rosy Side Dace. Third place in this category, Bryant Turfs from the United States with Chew with Your Mouth Closed. The runner-up in this category, Wojtok from Poland with Double Whale Time. And the winner of the behavior category this year is Yuri Ivanov from Indonesia with Make Love Not War of these mating octopus.
Few words about this picture. I know on that side where you can usually find a lot of coconut octopuses, but only at night. So it means they should grow their population from time to time there. And I decided to do as many night dives as I should in order to get a shot of their mating. And after about 30 night dives, it happened. The photo shows the end of their love. So just spend as much time as you can with your subject and you will get a perfect shot.
Thank you, Yuri, for that insight. Right, on now to our penultimate category, that's macro. And this category to date has never been retained by any photographer, but one of these guys did, or guys and girls, did win it again this year. So, the macro category, always incredible images, commended in this category. Katarzyna Battenfeld from Germany with Coleman Shrimps on Urchin. Stefano Scortagagna from Italy with Enter the Dragon. Chris Gudge from the United States with Pinkaboo. Highly commended in this category. David Alpert from the United Kingdom with Hard at Work Behind the Scenes. Highly commended. Ipa Uid Lim from Malaysia with Peas in a Pod. Highly commended. Shota Ishino from Japan with The Witch's Eyes. And also highly commended. Nicola Remy from Australia with Sea Dragon Swirl. Third place in the macro category goes to Kat Zhu from the United States with Relentless Gaze. Runner-up in the macro category, this delicate composition by Sage Ono from the United States with New Life. And the winner of the macro category is this incredible image by Shane Gross from Canada called Unsung. And you must listen to Shane's video explaining exactly what these fish are and how they live their lives. It really is amazing.
I need to tell you about the amazing life cycle of this plain fin midshipman fish because it's absolutely wild. So, they're a deep water fish that comes into the intertidal zone here on Vancouver Island to spawn. The male will find a nice little area underneath a rock and start singing, literally singing like Pavarotti or John Bon Jovi. And that singing could attract the female. If he's really good, that female may lay a lot of eggs. If he's not very good, then maybe she just risks a few eggs on him, and if he's no good at all, she'll just move on to the next male, and then the next male, and then the next male. No judgment. Once the eggs are laid, that singer male has a chance to fertilize those eggs. But, plot twist, there's another type of male called a sneaker male, which may get in there and fertilize those eggs before the singer male has a chance, and the singer male has no idea that even happened. He will guard those eggs until the fish are big enough to swim off on their own, even though they may not be genetically his babies. Pretty wild.
Pretty crazy stuff. And I think it's one of the really exciting things of this contest is that it shines a light on these really amazing underwater stories from all around the world. Okay, our final category is wide angle. Always stunning category. Always feels horrible just to only be able to show 10 of these images because they really are fantastic. But commended in this category this year, Sina Ritter from Germany with Concealed, Jingle Guo from China with Blue Eye, and Masayuki Agawa from the United States, the picture's taken in Japan, with Brought by the Current. Really incredible scene there. Highly commended now in this category. Doug Klug from the United States with Kelp Forest Gold. Just want to dive into that shot. Rafael Fernandez from Spain with Family Bonds. Fan Ping from the United States with Viva Mexico, I should say. And also highly commended Martin Brown from the United States with Secrets of the Cave. Third place in the wide angle category, Sky Full of Rays by Rafael Fernandez from Spain. Runner-up in this category, it's an incredible image by Andy Schmidt from Switzerland called Crowd Control of this orca here feeding on the herring. And the winner of the wide angle category this year is Greg Sherman from the United States with his image Fade. And I'll pass you over now to Greg to tell you
Fade
about
was
it.
taken in Grand Cayman. It was taken at a world famous site called Stingray City. It was early morning. The sky was cloudy. The waves were fairly rough, which kind of ruined my idea of having a beautiful sunburst with a perfect clear water line on the Gulf Point. Jumped in the water just before sunrise, just pretty much at first light, filled with the settings, got them dialed in, and then was really kind of disheartened to figure out that the shot that I really wanted wasn't going to happen. Instead of giving up, I kind of went for it. I just started shooting. I saw this line of stingrays coming in, and I thought it might be a good opportunity to get some sort of action shot or some sort of motion happening. So I pushed the camera up into the water line and fired away. Got about 10 shots in the sequence, and one of them was fade, and it really came out.
Well, thank you for that, Greg. So that's all the categories done, just 2 awards now to announce. The first is our British Underwater Photographer of the Year. We've been running the modern version of Underwater Photographer of the Year now for 9 years. Next year is our 10th anniversary. But the contest traces its roots all the way back to 1965. And although it was run intermittently through those years, I have included the sort of full history of this award. In the early years, sometimes there was some confusion. I mean, well, there was not confusion, but the title British Underwater Photographer of the Year wasn't always awarded. Sometimes it was just called Underwater Photographer of the Year. Sometimes there were separate awards for the British and the others. But in recent years, it's been very consistent since 2015. But you can see the history of the category here. And the winner of British Underwater Photographer of the Year, which is our favourite image taken by a British photographer in the competition, goes to the picture The Swarm by Ollie Clark, who's based in Australia, and this won him his award, and we can hear a little bit from Ollie now.
I took the photo on the Ningaloo Reef in Western Australia, where I work as like a whale shark photographer in whale shark tourism. And it's of a whale shark in a bait ball. So it's quite normal for us to see whale sharks like this with a bit of a bait ball around them. But it was really special because normally there's never like as many fish as this. Like this whale shark was absolutely surrounded by a huge bait ball, like it couldn't escape from the bait.
I always like Ollie's accent there, where all the words he's learned in Australia are very Australian accent, and then he reverts to sort of a British accent for the other words. Great. And that just leaves us one award to announce, which is our title of Underwater Photographer of the Year. This is to for us the strongest image in the competition. And this year, Underwater Photographer of the Year for the second time in the last few years goes to a female photographer, and the winner was Kat Zhu with her stunning image, Boto Encantado. And I'll just invite Kat back onto the video to tell us again a little bit more about this shot.
Hi everyone, my name is Kat, and I am incredibly honored to have been selected as Underwater Photographer of the Year 2023, and also as Up-and-Coming Underwater Photographer of the Year 2023. This award means a lot to me, and I'm honestly still kind of in shock about the whole thing. But I would really like to thank the UPY team for recognizing my images. So to talk a little bit about this photo that I took, this shows an Amazon river dolphin, which is also known as a boto by locals. The biggest challenge of photographing these dolphins is definitely the darkness of the water. So this photo was taken in a river where the water is filled with tannins, and so you're basically like swimming in black tea. This makes lighting a huge challenge. Even during the day, I had to keep my strokes at a much higher power level than normal because it's really hard for the light to cut through the dark water. This is obviously an even bigger challenge at sunset, which is when I took the shot, because it's very difficult to see what's going on underwater. So not only was I shooting totally blind, I also had to have my strobes on pretty much full power, especially with the higher f-stop that I had to use to get the split shot in focus. So with the recycled time in my strobes, I was only really getting in a shot every second or two. So I was lucky to catch this dolphin in such a nice place. I couldn't see this underwater, so I was definitely very excited when I saw how this photo showed up in my camera afterwards.
Well, big congratulations to Kat on winning our top award. That's me pretty much done on announcements. Just a little reminder of some of the history over the last 9 years. We very much look forward to being back again next year for a very special 10th anniversary of the Modern Underwater Photographer of the Year. And I hope many of you in the audience will be sending your pictures in. We'd love for it to be another record-breaking year of stunning underwater images. One of the things we're very proud of with Underwater Photographer of the Year is the pictures really do get seen all around the world. They go into the mainstream press, and it's a wonderful showcase for both the marine environment, for underwater animals, and for the diving industry as a whole. It's a fantastic showcase every year, so we really appreciate every single picture that we get. What I would now like to do is I say thank you all very much for coming. The photographers who are in the audience, it's a great opportunity now to come up and get some photos. So I've got the slideshow here, we can go back and put your picture on the screen and do photos with your picture. But I'd like to start with a group photo of all the awarded photographers who are here. If you can come up on stage, and we'll do that now. But otherwise, thank you very much everyone for being here.